Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
And welcome back to the latest and greatest episode of the Shaving Points podcast. My name is Jayden May, joined as always by my co-host Quentin Crisco. Week 14.
Week 14.
Week 14 NFL. We have arrived. We got some teams already in the playoffs.
Couple clinchers this past week.
Yeah. Buffalo looks like a wagon.
Buffalo is a wagon. I was right up there with anyone for being skeptical of Buffalo's plan this offseason. I think Anthony Prohaska came on our show and did a great job selling what they were trying to do. I was still a little skeptical. Excuse me. I was still a little skeptical, but they've done it. Like they've been kicking ass. They're running that offense outstandingly, and there's a lot to like with what they're doing up there at Orchard Park.
Yep, and the Chiefs just find ways to win every single week. You keep waiting for them to flip this switch, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do get the switch flipped, but they don't look good, but they keep winning.
They're just doing the age-old fake out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, we suck. And then they'll get to the playoffs and be like, we kick everyone's ass again.
They'll get to the playoffs and be like, oh, yeah, we have Hollywood Brown back. Oh, yeah, we have Isaiah Pacheco back. Oh, yeah, our defense is healthy again.
I still don't know how you defend if you have Kelsey and, at the beginning of the season, I said Rashee Rice. Now I'm saying D-Hop. You have Kelsey and D-Hop working inside routes, and you have Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown working vertically on the outside. I still don't know how you defend that. I do think they have that up Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun down the stretch. We got a big game this week, Thursday Night Football, one of the best Thursday Night Football games.
Oh, this is Thursday night. I didn't even think about that.
Packers-Lions. Lions at home. They're 3.5-point favorites, 51.5-point total. What'd they play 3 weeks ago? Lions won by 10.
Yeah, something like that. Let me see exactly what it was.
It was 24-14.
Okay, and that was a limited Jordan Love, I think. Like, he was still hurt, wasn't he?
On November 3rd, Jordan Love, that game was 23 for 40 for 273 yards and interception.
Yeah, I think that was his first game back from the groin injury. He still wasn't quite 100%. But either way, I was telling Jay pre-show, I feel like the last few weeks I can't get back in the green. I've just been like in the red, and it's been like one unit here, one unit there, but like I just can't get in a good groove since like week 10. But I'm looking at the model, and it's been in the green every week except for week 12. So I'm following the model this week. I need some wins. I need some to
across the board, or did you just pick your favorite picks?
Oh, I'm across the board, except for I added one in there, one extra. But other than that, I'm just going chalk with the model.
So what does the model say?
Model says take those Lions -3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like the Lions -3.5 here. I think they're juggernaut right now. Lions, Eagles seem like a crash course for the NFC Championship game at the moment. I would love to see Tampa make it in and knock off the Eagles. That would just be awesome. Just Baker doing Baker things. But I think that's what we're seeing this year. Lions, Eagles. Will it be in Detroit? Will it be in Philly? I think Lions definitely need that game to be in Detroit. So they got to keep winning. And can the Packers just be really bad for a little bit and just not make the playoffs? I'll be fine with that too. Packers, 49ers, Cowboys, just none of us make the playoffs. Join the party, guys.
It'd be great. Bears run the table. Packers lose out. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I don't know if the Bears can run the table. They find new ways to lose every week. But luckily for the Bears fans, like everything looks like it's trending up except wins. So it's like, man, maybe you just stack up a couple more young guys on that team. And next year, you're gonna have a first year head coach, second year quarterback. Never been done before in the history of the NFL. So it's gonna have great success.
It's a recipe for success. That's what we say in Chicago.
Yep. But I like the Lions minus 3.5 in this game, and I like the over 51.5. I think both of these offenses led by veteran quarterbacks, even with the Packers being fairly young. I think with a coach like LaFleur and a guy like Jordan Love back there on a short week, you're just going to kind of stick to the basics. Both teams know each other. I think the offenses get rolling. I like the over 51.5 there.
I just got done watching the Lions Bears tape, or watching a segment of it where I go through every offensive lineman on the Bears and I watch all their snaps closely. I didn't realize how fun Aaron Glenn's defense is. Like, they're doing some pretty sicko shit on that front, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
The stuff that they are gaming up for their D line, it's a lot of fun, and really they're executing it really well. So kudos to them. I think that defense is going to be a big part of why they cover this game. While I didn't feel that way with the Packers defense, though, when I watched them a few weeks ago. It was like it felt like they were getting less out of more talent, where the Lions felt like they were getting more out of less talent.
Yeah, the Lions defense, I mean, it seems like every week they lose somebody else, and then they're just signing guys off the street every other day, just signed Blitz Boy. So we'll see. But, yeah, I think this Lions, I think just the camaraderie of the team, I mean, they have that vibe to them. Just rolling. Dan Campbell's got – it seems like everybody bought in. Apparently, one of them did a TikTok of leaking some verbiage on the board, and he said, I'll give the other team the whole damn playbook. It don't matter. They still got to stop us. So
love it.
Love it. All right. Next up, we have Raiders, Buccaneers. Buccaneers minus 6.5 at home. 46.5 point total here. Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs. Buccaneers tied for the division lead there in the NFC South. What do you think about this game?
I lean towards Tampa. Looks like this actually. So when I put it in the model, it was 7. Now it's at 6.5. Ooh, I got a new bet. Getting that hook makes Tampa a bet for me. So give me Tampa minus 6.5.
Tampa minus 6.5 at home. Yeah, Mike Evans coming back. You think they try to get him to his 1,000 yards this year after missing 4 games?
Got to. I don't really trust the Raiders corners. I think that I think the Raiders traveling from Vegas to Tampa, they have a little extra time. It was a Black Friday game they're coming off of, but I think Tampa's going to take care of business at home here against a Raiders team who has a lot of travel to get there and really has no answers at the quarterback position and has some clear holes along their defense and, frankly, their offense.
Yeah. And I know teams or players don't tank. I mean, I know maybe sometimes coaches will – I think coaches will try to purposely tank sometimes. But I just don't know where points come from on this Raiders offense. And – I just don't trust that defense at all. I mean, Max Crosby. Max, where do they come from?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock Bowers is very good. Might be the best tight end in the league as a rookie. Max Crosby, very good. Might be the best player in the league. And so you go out there and you get Shadur Sanders, and maybe that fixes everything for you.
Maybe a primetime as coach too. But I mean, yeah, I think this. I like this game. I like Mike Evans.
I think Tom Brady would hire Deion Sanders. Yeah. 2 goats.
Hollywood move.
It is a Hollywood move. What's more Hollywood than the Las Vegas Raiders?
Nothing.
Browns Steelers. Seems like, didn't they just play like last week? It seemed like 2 weeks ago they played. But we got
Yeah,
Steelers
they
minus
did.
Steelers minus 6.5, 43.5 point total here. I don't know what to think about this Steelers team. Steelers at home. They win because of their defense. Then the very next week they win in a shootout where their defense comes up big late in the game. Or not even late in the game, multiple times throughout the game came up big for them. And Joe Burrow still put up, 36 points or whatever it was. And Russell Wilson just slinging that rock all over the field. His brother Peyton Wilson getting a scoop and score on defense. Now they just need Roman Wilson to do something, and the three Wilson brothers will be chugging along.
Wilson brothers will just be taking care of business in Pittsburgh there. I'm staying away from this one per the model because really, like I mean, they just went off this past week. I know, but like I don't know. These division matchups, Cleveland versus Pittsburgh, they always seem tight. I have a lean towards Pittsburgh minus 6.5, a light lean to the under 43.5, but I'm staying away.
Yeah, I'll just take the home team in these. I'm not betting this one, but I would probably lean Steelers. Home teams, AFC North. I mean, sometimes you kind of got to take the dog, but after what the Browns just went through in Denver, they look so dead tired at the end of that game. I mean, like what was it? 580 yards of offense, something crazy like that. That last drive where guys were just dropping balls. Jameis was throwing it everywhere. And they were in Denver and then had to fly all the way back. Yeah. Short week for them. I think they're just exhausted after that game and late in the season. So I probably lean Steelers here, but this is also the AFC North where crazy things happen.
What if it's snowing?
And the Browns beat them 2 weeks ago.
What if it's snowing? Then where do you lean?
I'll take Jameis again.
Undefeated in the snow.
Yeah. Does Pittsburgh get a lot of snow? I'm not familiar.
Here and there. It's pretty far from Cleveland, so that like that Cleveland game, but cut way down.
No. All right, now we got Jaguars, Titans, and the premier game of the week. Titans 3.5 point favorites at home. 39.5 point total here. I'm assuming Trevor Lawrence isn't playing this game.
I think he's done.
If I'm the Jaguars, I don't know why he would play again this season. And it is December 3rd, 2024, and Doug Peterson is still an NFL head coach.
Has he given Trevor Lawrence the full Carson Wentz experience?
I don't know. He was never basically the MVP.
I mean, he was close to it the second half of that season, his second year.
The second
he
half
was
of the season?
Incredible the second half.
The first half.
Season. Second half of where the
Is
second half into the
3?
playoffs. This is year 4.
This is year 4 for Peterson?
Or no, for Trevor. 3 for Peterson. But in Trevor's second year, the second half of that year, he was lights out.
Second half of that year,
against the Chargers in the
first
playoffs.
half of last year. What was it? They were 7-1 last year after 8 weeks, and they had won their last 5 the year before. So they were and then they won the playoff game against the Chargers. They were 16-2 at one point out of their last 18 games. And I think they've won 3 games since.
It's the full Carson Wentz experience. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So now Mac Jones has just got to take over that role, become MVP.
McCorkle.
Beat Justin Herbert in the playoffs.
Is Mac Jones the most likely to become Nick Foles among every quarterback in the NFL right now?
No, Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. Okay.
Either Gardner Minshew or a Nick Foles. It has to be Gardner Minshew because it was Nick Foles. It was we had seen him play well. What do you have that 17-1 touchdown interception ratio? Or
have we never seen Mac Jones play well?
Have we?
I think we have. I don't know. Does Mac Jones have enough dog in him to be a
nah? Big Dick Mac.
Yeah, it just don't work.
Like, yeah, I think it has to be Gardner. If not Gardner, maybe a Darnold. But that's no fun.
Yeah, I feel weird doing it with like top 10 picks because it's like Nick
Yeah.
Foles wasn't that. Who would it be? I don't know. We might just. Is it Jameis?
He was number 1 overall.
I know, but he's gone through so many ups and downs. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore.
It would be Jameis is going to be a starter next year somewhere.
He will.
And so it's got to be a good, decent backup on a good team.
I think you're right. I think it's probably Minshew right now.
It's going to be like Minshew backing up a guy like, I don't want to say Caleb Williams, but a guy like Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels or one of these young quarterbacks that looks like they have a lot of promise.
Yeah.
On a good young team.
Yeah, so many of the backups right now are like highly drafted guys. There's not many like middle tier.
Well, because
middle
every quarterback's highly drafted nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They'll just take anybody. I mean, if you had a pulse in college, they'll take you in the first round these days.
Yeah. Davis Mills?
Is he still in the league?
He's still somewhere. I think he might still be in Houston.
Well, long neck McGills.
Hey, is that not Nick Foles?
Yeah, and CJ Stroud fits the criteria.
Yeah.
He's having a down
Watch out,
year,
CJ Stroud. Davis Mills is coming for you.
Hey, those Texans. Everybody's hating on the Texans right now. I mean, I feel like they're if they get hot, you best watch out. Nico Collins is good.
Jaguars Titans.
I have nothing for this game.
I have a lean towards the Jaguars just because why are the Titans getting the hook here? But that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Jaguars are talented. Titans are terrible, but talented too. They got a good D line.
Maybe a lean towards the over.
Jaguars.
I don't know. Do I trust the Jaguars for the over? I don't know. Nah,
I kind of want the Jaguars
towards the over.
I kind of want the Jaguars to get the first overall pick again because that'll be 3 in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
and I just want to see what they do with it because, what
they do with Travis Hunter.
Would they take Travis Hunter? I feel like you have to trade that pick.
I don't know. Trent Baalke does weird things sometimes. And who's trading up for the number 1 pick this year?
Giants, Raiders, Titans, any of those teams, and they're going to be top 7.
Who are they trading up for?
Whoever they want at quarterback.
I don't quite buy it. I don't know if there's going to be much of a market.
I mean, a team traded up for Bryce Young.
Bryce Young was talked about as a really good prospect, though. I didn't see it, but a lot of people did.
I mean, I think somebody comes up and gets Shedeur or Carson back.
I don't know. I don't know if a quarterback goes that high this year. As one, maybe 2 or 3, like a Trubisky.
If Raiders get the first overall pick, a quarterback is going 1.
Yeah, obviously, if the need is there, but if Jacksonville's there, I don't know if someone's giving up extra capital to take Shedeur Sanders.
I wouldn't take Travis Hunter number 1 overall.
Yeah,
I like Travis Hunter. If you draft a guy like that, what do you do? Do you draft him as a wide receiver? Do you draft him as a corner? Do you draft him to play both? Because he's best at just being an athlete. And maybe if he was full-time one side or the other, he could be great. But we don't know that. And do you play him do you have him play receiver full-time and then just come in for dime in big spots?
I just put him at receiver and say.
But then if you're drafting a receiver number 1 overall, I'm not drafting Travis Hunter.
I mean, I get your point there, but if you're drafting a corner number 1 overall, are you drafting Travis Hunter?
I think if he played corner, he's the first corner off the board. But I wouldn't draft a corner number 1 overall either. Is kind of my point.
I mean, So you're saying they're taking Ashton Jeanty number 1 overall.
Oh God, I hope so.
All right, enough of this game. I got nothing to say. We haven't even mentioned the Titans, but like, I mean,
Titans also
Lord
would take
knows
Shadir.
what we can say about the Titans right now.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Panthers Eagles. I'm not taking this. Eagles are 12.5 point favorites, 45.5 point total. I'm not taking this, but I might take this. Panthers are live in this game.
Panthers have been feisty.
They are frisky little kitties right now.
They are frisky as hell. Let's see. The last, let me pull it up.
Almost should have beat the Chiefs. Almost should have beat the Buccaneers. Both teams are better than the
They
Eagles.
beat the Saints at home, beat the Giants at home, almost beat the Chiefs at home, almost beat the Bucs at home. They have sucked on the road.
Well, luckily, Philly's not a hard place to play.
No, Philly's easy. I don't buy this defense in Philly. I think they're a much tougher team at home than on the road, and I'm taking Eagles minus 12.5, and it's because the model tells me to. If there's a theme to this episode, because the model tells me to. That's what I'm doing this week. Model says take Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
So Eagles, I think, probably have the best defense in the league right now. Have the best run.
Doing work, man.
Have the best run game in the NFL right now. Who do you think gets burned on Kellen Moore next year? He's going to get a job.
What are the openings going to be?
Chicago.
Bears, Jaguars,
Raiders. Maybe? I don't know. Somebody else already got fired. Jets.
Yeah, Jets.
Jets would probably maybe do that. Does Miami move on?
Bengals, maybe.
Bengals?
Giants. Feels like Giants. Feels like Giants.
That is a Giants move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They like hiring division rivals.
But so, looking at the Panthers, they've actually cleaned up their run defense pretty well the last few weeks.
Yeah, but Saquon is.
Yeah, but Saquon and that O-line combined is just, I don't know how you stop it. They've given up a lot of points, a lot of yards each of the last 2 weeks, but they've been able to put up points and yards. I think Vic Fangio is going to make life hell on Bryce Young. I mean, do.
This is kind of a cop-out thing to say. Like, it's either going to happen or it's not. I think either the Eagles cover 12.5 or the Panthers win this game.
Yeah, I can see that because like either the Eagles just take care of business or the Eagles take a bit of a week off from a game planning standpoint and say, we're just going to need to rely on talent this week because we can't burn our coaches out on this. And the Panthers take advantage of that. Like I can see it going either way, but I lean more towards the Eagles just taking care of business.
I might just sprinkle that Panthers money line for fun.
I think that's worth it. I think that's a good bet. I mean,
and if you like the Panthers in this game, might as well take the over because I think the Eagles are going to be able to score. So,
also, I mean, so I guess the case for the Panthers here would probably be a lot of Giro Evero, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, just taking away the run game and making life hell on Jalen Hurts by taking away that. Making him do things that he is not that comfortable doing over the middle of the field and as a drop back passer. I don't know how you achieve that, but Evero is a really good D coordinator. He might be able to figure something out.
Bears like hiring defensive head coaches. I like Adam Thielen to have a big game here. I mean, I know these rookie corners, DBs for Philadelphia are playing very, very well. Adam Thielen's been hot lately, and you get a crafty veteran like that can run the crispiest routes in the league with a guy like Bryce Young who's very, very accurate throwing the football, and it looks like he's kind of starting to put it together. I like Adam Thielen probably over on his catches, maybe even yards, and maybe even anytime touchdown. That seems fun.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
Don't like Chuba Hubbard.
I have a hard time with the Eagles secondary because they're so young. But like, man, they're just playing right
They
now, and
fly
I
around.
don't know if something's going to come back down to earth or not at some point, or at least a game where they just get punched in the mouth and they're not ready for it. But like,
Adam
they're
Thielen's
playing.
going to punch him in the mouth.
Maybe he will.
Deontay Johnson, no, he's not there anymore. Falcons, Vikings minus 5.5, 46.5 point total here. Vikings, I think they're frauds,
Me too.
but the Falcons are frauds. I don't think. Do the Falcons go to the rookie, whose name I can never remember for some reason?
Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix Jr. Do they make that move with Kirk Cousins with all that guaranteed money? I mean, Kirk does not look good right now. 3 games in a row, he looks terrible.
He doesn't, but I mean, I don't know.
He doesn't look terrible?
I think Kirk's gonna. No, he doesn't look good. But
Oh yeah.
I kind of have this feeling that everyone is selling Kirk Cousins right now, and it might turn. I mean, against Philly, I'm sorry, not that was week 2. I was looking at this backwards. Yeah, last 3 games he's been straight up ass.
Yeah,
but
and it's not like, I mean, you're not trading him, you're not cutting him. I mean, he's still there if you need him. But I mean, you're in a you have a pretty good defense, I think, in Atlanta. I think they've built their defense well. You have the offensive talent surrounding a good young rookie quarterback that you took in the top 10. I know you're paying Kirk Cousins all this money, but you also took a quarterback in the top 10. You're very, very much alive in this divisional race. And you have a quarterback that's not playing well with a guy that you trusted enough to take in the top 10. I don't know why we're not seeing Michael Penix. And maybe we do see Michael Penix here pretty soon. Maybe this is the game. But I think they got to make that move here pretty quick. And, I mean, Kirk's the guy, too, to where if Penix plays well for 2 or 3 weeks and then he starts going back, I mean, Colts did it. Anthony Richardson benched. Flacco comes in. Anthony Richardson goes back out, looks better. And it's kind of the opposite situation here where you're benching a veteran for a young guy, bringing back the vet. But maybe Kirk just takes a little time off, and maybe he's still healing from an Achilles injury. Like, I don't know, but I feel like you got to give yourself the best chance to win. And there's no way the way Kirk Cousins is playing right now is your best chance to win.
let me tell you something about Ryan Pace, the Falcons director of player personnel, former Bears GM.
Ryan Pace, their director of player personnel?
Oh, yeah. He's the right-hand man to Terry Fontenot, the GM. Ryan Pace drafted Mitchell Trubisky number 2 overall. Wanted to sit him his entire first year. Couldn't do it because they didn't have a good enough starter. They had Mike Glennon. Ryan Pace goes on to draft Justin Fields, number 11 overall, I believe. Wanted to sit him his entire first year, work out some mechanical stuff. Couldn't do it because Andy Dalton couldn't stay healthy. Ryan Pace gets to Atlanta. They draft Michael Penix Jr. What was it? 9 overall or 8 overall?
Yeah.
He's gonna sit his entire first year.
This
was Pace's chance, Fontenot's chance to do that. Fontenot was in Chicago for the Trubisky part of that. So they want him to sit. They need him. I mean, truly, I believe they need him to sit because he has a lot of mechanical stuff to work out. I don't think
old already though.
How
much
is
he working out? It's late in the season.
The upside of Michael Penix was the raw arm talent. If you could harness that with improved throwing mechanics, awesome. But you're not improving those throwing mechanics in half a season, in 2/3 of a season, and then throwing him to the Wolves. You're saying
you're not throwing him to the Wolves. He's on a good team.
We're not counting on this guy. We are fixing his throwing mechanics and making him sit and learn all year. So I don't think it's happening. I think you see Kirk bounce back this week. I actually like Falcons plus 5.5 quite a bit.
I like Falcons plus 5.5 too, just because I don't trust the Vikings at all.
Model doesn't like it. And if I'm looking for reasons to dislike it, Brian Flores against Kirk Cousins is a pretty good reason to not like it, because I think Brian Flores might scare Kirk Cousins. But I'm not taking it because the model leans towards the Vikings -5.5. And the mantra of this week's episode is I'm just
Trust the model.
following the model.
So is there any familiarity there between the Vikings and Kirk Cousins?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
From when?
Just last year.
Just last year.
Yeah, when Kirk Cousins threw like a check down on 4th and 8 or something, and they missed. Or wait, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Last year he
was hurt.
His Achilles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back from Achilles injury, and it's I don't know if it's the most obvious thing in the world, but it's like you had two old veteran quarterbacks. One of them's already in their 40s. The other one's very soon to be in their 40s. Coming off Achilles injuries, not playing their best ball. Shocking.
Yeah. Shocking.
So didn't see that coming. But no, I mean, I think Kirk Cousins has more than enough left. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, we either got to get Bijan and Algier going, make life easier for Kirk Cousins. I mean, don't put it all in his hands. That defense got to play better. I mean, I think they have the pieces on defense. I think they have the pieces on offense. They have two quarterbacks, but I guess if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. I think this Falcons team should and will go on a run to end the season. So I like the Falcons +5.5. Vikings got to start losing games somewhere. I just don't think they can keep getting away with it. Maybe they do, though. Maybe Kevin O'Connell is just the best coach in the league.
From here on out, Falcons got Vikings, Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers. I could see them winning every one of those games. I'm not saying they will. I don't think they get to 11 wins. They're going to drop some of those, but like I wouldn't be shocked if they won any of those games.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe. But so if Kirk plays bad this week, listen to those teams that you just played. Let's say Kirk goes out there, goes 20 for 37, 217 yards, a touchdown, and 2 or 3 interceptions. I mean, you don't think there's any way we see Michael Penix at all going down that stretch of games with the worst teams in the league with Kirk playing the way he's playing?
If Atlanta can win through that, I think you ride out Kirk at least one more game, but it's really starting to push their hand.
Yeah.
I really don't think they want to, though. I really think they want to rework Penix's mechanics in full, which takes time. It takes a full year plus. So,
yeah. All right. Well, next up, we got the Jets Dolphins. Dolphins 6.5-point favorites at home, 45.5-point total here. I really thought the Dolphins were live to make a run, and they just can't play in cold weather games, I guess. I don't know.
We've seen them do it, though. We've seen them go to Buffalo and fight tooth and nail, putting up 30-plus points. Like, it's weird.
Mike McDaniel shivering on the sidelines.
I mean, you try standing in that cold at 130 pounds.
I know. It's just bad optics. And then you have a Hawaiian quarterback.
Hey, all I'm saying is Tua has done it in the cold. Like, we've seen.
He's never won a game when it's below 40 degrees.
Right, but he's put up tons of points in some games.
Never won.
But come on now. Like that game, I think it was 2 years ago against Buffalo in the snow. Like it was freezing, and he was just like putting up a ton of points, ton of yards. He was playing out of his mind.
But did he win?
He didn't.
He did not. Jets are terrible. Jets are abysmal. I mean, they look like they had a little bit of juice against the Seahawks and absolutely laid down. I can't, in good conscience, take the Jets at any point this season now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks so dang bad. And, I mean, I think this offense seems still frisky. I think they're going to finish with about 8 or 9 wins and barely just miss out on the playoffs there in the AFC. But, yeah, I don't know what the Dolphins do moving forward. I'll probably lean Dolphins -6.5 here. Probably lean the over, too. But what are you thinking?
What am I thinking? I'm leaning towards the Jets plus 6.5 here.
Is that
I
what the
can't
model
logic
says?
that, but the model says it. My brain says I'm leaning towards Miami minus
Devontae
6.5,
Adams is
but I
looking
don't
good.
love it. Model also has a light lean towards the under 45.5. I really lean towards the Dolphins here.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins, they're still alive for a playoff spot. Technically, they have talent. I've asked this before. Like, this has been an abysmal season from Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Well, Tyreek Hill very quietly kind of
Or
said
has
out
it?
loud.
No, I guess he's at 650 yards. I mean, it's not good, but it's not necessarily 11.9 yards per reception is rough for him, though.
Yeah. Well, he kind of said before the season started that he's already contemplating retirement.
Yeah.
And whenever you start thinking about it, I mean, you hear guys all the time. It's like as soon as it even creeps in your mind, you might as well hang them up.
Yeah. I don't know. I
But
do. I could talk myself into the under on this. I'm not betting it, but I could talk myself into the under.
yeah, I mean, Jets defense has been so bad this year. Everything
But
about
they're
the
still
Jets has
so
been bad.
talented, though. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know that I could see, and the Dolphins' defense has been low key pretty good this year.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, outside of the games that Tua's missed, the Dolphins have been pretty good this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I
lean
don't
towards
know.
Dolphins, but I'm not taking it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Saints Giants. Giants
Sicko
plus
game of the week.
Yeah, Giants plus 4.5 at home. 40.5 point total here. I think Giants are full on tank mode. I think Brian Daboll's gone, which I think is a loss for New York. I think he's gonna jump right into an OC role next year, probably somewhere like would he go to the Lions or would him and Dan Campbell, do they have any connection? I want to see Brian Daboll
I don't know
call
if
that
that would
offense.
work. Dable, I mean, I don't know. He screams a
Mobile quarterback guy.
Napoleon complex kind of guy.
Oh,
like
yeah,
just
with the guy
little
like Dan Campbell.
dude. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if how that works. I mean, I don't know. I was never fully bought in on Brian Dable as a head coach, and there's just something about his background. I did a whole deep dive on his entire background before when he was hired, because the Bears were hiring a head coach at the same time, and it was just kind of like something always felt off about him to me. And I think a part of it was I don't like offensive coaches who I can't narrow down what their scheme is or what their bread and butter is, what they lean on.
Outside of Josh Allen.
Yeah, and that's how it felt with him.
Yeah.
Like, it felt that way with Matt Nagy in Chicago, too. Like, you can be a really good offensive mind, but just be missing that part of it, that understanding if you need something to lean on. And I feel that way with him. Like, maybe he'll go someplace to be a really good OC. I don't know. I just don't really love his coaching style, I guess.
Yeah. And then Saints, what's their coach's name? Rizzy,
the Riz God.
Riz
Darren Rizzy.
Darren Rizzy. I think he just went full on Taysom Hill mode, and that looked like they were going to have some pop because Taysom Hill always brings some pop, and now Taysom Hill's out for the season. So all the Rizziness and fun that the Saints had for those couple of weeks, I think, is completely gone. And I don't know how much I'll watch this game.
Speaking of out for the season, Dexter Lawrence done for the season.
Dexter Lawrence out for the season. I was about to say that as well.
That's a giant blow. No pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know. Derek Carr's still pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I lean towards the Saints here.
Yeah,
but I lean towards the under. But again, these two offenses I don't trust at all, so the under becomes scary at that point.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara looks old.
Does he look old again after that little resurgence?
Yeah, he had a good first this season. I mean, he's one of those guys that it's like he looks old, then he'll if you have him in fantasy, he's going to score like 7 touchdowns next week, first round of the playoffs. And somebody who's like just been barely hanging on from like the early resurgence of him is going to get paid off big time in the first round.
All right. Enough of the sicko game of the week.
All right, next up, we got Seahawks Cardinals, one of the biggest games of the week. A lot of division winners and losers on the line here. Cardinals 2.5-point favorites at home, 44.5-point total here. Seattle coming off a big win in New York, coming from behind and getting the victory there. Cardinals in a weird game. They were in control the entire game and ended up losing. Kind of a heartbreaker there for the Cardinals. I thought for sure they were gonna get that one and get the win. So I'm taking the Cardinals here because they lost and the Seahawks won. Is about my only reasoning.
Model leans towards the Seahawks to cover this. Doesn't like it too much. Leans toward the over. Doesn't like it too much. Ultimately, I think these are two teams that are they play 100 times. They're probably close to 50-50. So I'm
played 2 weeks ago. Seahawks won 16-6.
Yeah. Ugly game.
Ugly game. So yeah, hard to beat somebody twice. Cardinals coming off a heartbreaking loss. Seahawks coming off of a pretty good win. So give me the Cardinals.
Also, I mean, I know we're not sleeping on the Cardinals. And I think a big part of that was how much I love their coaching staff. I do think a coaching staff's advantage diminishes the second time they play each other in a season.
Yeah.
So that's a reason why I kind of lean towards the Seahawks here as well.
All right, we got Bears 49ers. 49ers 3.5-point favorites at home. 44.5-point total here. Christian McCaffrey out for the season. Jordan Mason out for the season. I mean, this is make or break for 49ers. If 49ers lose here, I don't see a path of them making the playoffs. Luckily, their division is really bad. We're not really bad, but winnable still. Nobody's really taken off with it. So they could, in theory, lose this game and still be all right. But I don't know. Brock Purdy didn't look great, but Buffalo is also so freaking good right now. And in that atmosphere, I don't think anybody was beating Buffalo in Orchard Park last week. So I don't know what to think. I like the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm taking Bears plus 3.5.
Isaac Guerrero starting for the 49ers. Kittle has been kind of banged up all year. So
yeah, I mean, I think the Bears get a real dead cat bounce from a fired coach here. I think they're gonna they cover 3.5 here, and I'm also taking the under 44.5 because that's what the model says. Bears plus 3.5 is my one non-model pick and that's really just about the dead cat bounce from Eberflus being gone. The Bears need to win a football game. They've been competitive with contenders in 3 of the last 5 weeks, 4 of the last 5 weeks, like that against the Vikings, against the Packers, against the Lions, and against Washington. All those games came down to within 3 points at the end. Like I don't see how this one is not the same with the head coach change.
So if you could imagine, I mean, so Bears lost on a Hail Mary followed by a blocked field goal, followed by a sack on second down with 40 seconds left with a timeout.
You forgot about the overtime loss.
And an overtime loss in the past 4 weeks.
For the past 5 or 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yeah. So did they run out of ways to lose and then finally fire the coach, or is there still another way in there that we haven't seen yet?
There's still a way. Walk-off touchdown where Rome Odunze drops it at the 1-yard line.
You calling your shot?
It might be it, man.
Or yeah, I was gonna say, oh no, what's gonna happen is this is what's gonna happen. Time expires. Roma Dunze catches it. Touchdown. Blocked, extra point, ran back for a 2-point conversion for the 49ers to win by 2.
At this point, nothing would surprise me.
I like the Bears here though.
Yeah.
I like the Bears a lot, and
I do like Isaac Guerrero over rushing yards, whatever they will be. The Bears have not been able to stop rushing
probably
attacks.
72 and a half, if I were to guess.
And Kyle Shanahan has shown time and time again he is not afraid to spam something that works.
And it don't matter who's back there; he'll give the ball to anybody.
Yeah.
They signed
Raheem Mostert was just a guy once.
They signed that kid out of New York that everybody loved in the preseason, Abaconda.
Oh, Israel Abanikanda, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's got some wheels, man. That dude could do something in that San Fran offense.
Yeah.
Christian
so
who?
for that. Yeah. CMC might be done. I mean, missing almost an entire season and then immediately tearing patella or LCL,
Yeah,
MCL,
something bad
whatever it
again,
was.
like...
Yeah. Might be the end of CMC as we know it. Next up, we got Bills, Rams plus 4.5 in LA, 49.5 point total. I don't like this bet, but I'm taking Bills minus 4.5 because they're kind of just inevitable right now. I mean, they're so damn good. Josh Allen's playing so damn good. Probably going to win the MVP this year if it's not Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, or Lamar Jackson. I think those are really the only 4 you could give it to right now. But that defense is flying all around the ball. DeMar Hamlin's playing great. Defensive line's playing fantastic. Amari Cooper, I think, is about to take a big step. I mean, he hasn't really had a chance. I mean, they've been some bad weather games. He came in on a short week. So
injuries too,
yeah. So I think him finally getting established into this offense, I think we could really see something out of him. And they have a great running game there in Buffalo. The only thing I don't like about this is it's what I guess one of the furthest trips possible in the NFL is Buffalo to LA.
Yeah. It's up there. I mean, that scares me too. I'm with you. I'm on Bills minus 4.5. The model likes it. But I don't know, that trip does worry me. And
the
Rams.
This also seems like a game that everybody's going to like the Rams on, but maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, it's just the Buffalo's just so damn good right now.
Rams have only covered a third of their games at home this year, though.
Yeah, they're kind of a soft team. But also, I mean, Jordan Verse is really freaking good. I don't know how much you've watched Jared Verse. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who I said reminded me of Khalil Mack Light in the draft last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared Verse is a dude.
Crazy how his college team went from undefeated to winning 2 games. Might have had something to do with that.
No, it was all Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson, nothing but. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I like the Bills. I think they're just a wagon right now, and I think they might lose a game or 2 down the stretch. I don't think it's this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Bills minus 4.5.
All right, Chargers, Chiefs minus 3.5 at home, 42.5 point total here. Chargers just keep winning here, and so Chargers 8-4, Chiefs 11-1. I like the Chargers in this game. I know it's in Kansas City. I know everybody's waiting for the Chiefs to just finally take over. This Chargers defense is for real. And Chiefs defense has not been playing great. I don't trust a damn thing about the Chargers offense. I mean, I don't trust Justin Herbert. I do trust Ladd McConkey.
Got it.
And Ladd we trust. But J.K. Dobbins out for the season. I don't trust Gus Edwards as the featured back in this offense. I don't trust Justin Herbert in big time spots. Definitely don't trust Quentin Johnston, but that defense is so damn good. So I'm taking Chargers plus 3.5 here. I love Chargers and 6-point teasers up to 9.5, 10, wherever you got that line at. So I'm taking Chargers plus 3.5, but I think Chiefs probably find a way to win this game because that's what they do. And I'll take Patrick Mahomes finding a way to win over Justin Herbert.
There's a term that on my weekly Bears offensive line show, my co-host Ron Luce loves to throw out. It's like when stuff is going wrong, there's nothing wrong with just creating a big pile of shit. And I feel like the Chargers might be the best team in the NFL, either them or the Broncos, at just creating a big pile of shit. Whether it be on offense, defense, just messing up your day with a big pile of shit for you to step in. And for that reason, I'm with you. Chargers plus 3.5, and I'm taking the under 42.5. It's a low total, but Chiefs have been playing some lower scoring games lately. Chargers have been playing lower scoring games lately. I think both teams are gonna slow the clock down, keep the ball on the ground some, and just again, those big piles of shit, I think are gonna slow everything down. So, and most importantly, and the reason I'm finding all these reasons to like it, the model likes both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chiefs defense has got to eventually start playing better, I would think. So yeah, I like that. I like that under as well. All right. Sunday Night Football. Monday
Game
Night
of the
Football.
week.
What is this? Monday or Sunday?
Monday
Night Football. Premier matchup. We got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys 5.5-point dogs at home. 49.5-point total here. I think the Cowboys have enough on offense to make this a shootout. I think anybody can score on this Bengals defense. Joe Burrow can score on anybody, especially this Cowboys offense. I think this might be my favorite play of the week. I'm taking over 49.5 in this game. I could see either one of these teams losing in hilarious fashion right now. It could be a Cooper Rush pick six followed by a Joe Burrow fumble, scoop and score by DeMarvion Overshown. It could be a whole plethora of things. The way the loser of this game finds a way to lose. So should be fun, should be exciting. I definitely think it's going to be high scoring. So I'm taking over 49.5 here. Also, Joe Burrow is going to put up probably the best numbers in a season to not win MVP. Might be the greatest season in history to not get an MVP. So
wait. Let's
just wasted that.
Let's check that. So let's see. Joe Burrow.
I mean, immediately it's got to be some of those Drew Brees years that he's up against because Drew Brees never won it.
So Burrow right now, let's see, what's he pacing? Okay, Pro Football Reference taking a little long, but I'm thinking about 2020 Deshaun Watson, 4-12, but 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Joe Burrow is on pace for 4,700 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So 9 more touchdowns on 100 less yards.
He's on pace for 5,000 yards?
4,700.
I'm shocked that he's not on pace for 5,000. He might be on pace for 5,000 after this game.
Maybe. But so yeah, he's got Deshaun beat. Like he's got 9 more touchdowns and almost the same yardage and same interceptions. Like that's what Burrow's doing right now. And it really grinds my gears how bad the Bengals defense is, because I've got some Joe Burrow's MVP futures bets from this offseason that are just toiling away and not going to win now. And it sucks.
I know. And if they would have just won like 3 of these crazy games, I mean, they'd be right in the thick of it. And you could even probably cash out a couple of them for a decent profit.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. But I'm not betting this game. I mean, slightly leaning towards the Bengals -5.5. I could see it going over.
You don't like the over here?
I mean, I the model doesn't. So I don't. I mean, I do, but the model ain't about it. Model thinks the Cowboys offense is too volatile. So
Cowboys offense is extremely volatile. But the Bengals find ways. And Kevontae Turpin's been playing out of his mind. I might see another punt return, kick return there. CeeDee Lamb can just take off whenever. And then we might get like a 25 carry, 185 yard, 3 touchdown game out of Rico Dowdle for no reason whatsoever. So,
Rico. You like any college stuff this week, Jay?
Conference championship, it's a hard week. I haven't looked at any of the actual lines. I do like SMU to beat Clemson. I know a lot of people are on Clemson in that game. I think SMU goes ahead and takes care of business there. I like Texas versus Georgia in the rematch. I like Texas in that game.
Do you think Alabama is going to have any funny business to keep SMU out of the playoff?
If SMU loses, and Clemson will obviously get in, if Alabama gets in over SMU, it's a damn shame, because Indiana's sitting there not playing this week. SMU's ahead of them at 1 loss. Alabama at 3 losses. SMU's ahead of not playing this week. Like, everybody behind SMU is not playing this week with what would be equal or more losses than them. For them to get knocked out of the playoffs with the loss to Clemson would be absolutely criminal, but I can almost guarantee you it happens if they lose, which is absolute horseshit. I like Penn State against Oregon. I don't know why. Oregon,
as you say that, and I haven't looked at the college football slate at all, but as you say that, my stomach turns just thinking about betting Penn State. But I mean, hey, you know college better than I do. Your gut tends to be much better than mine, but I'm just Penn State against.
So everybody keeps talking about, well, there's not a good team in football or college football. Everybody's kind of bad. Oregon is undefeated. Oregon did beat Ohio State. And I think Ohio State is still very much alive in this playoff to run the table and win the whole damn thing. They can't beat Michigan. They lost by 1 point in Oregon against Oregon. And Oregon might be the most complete team that we've seen in college football for a long time. And I mean, I don't know who's doing the marketing for the Big Ten if they just don't want to push Oregon, or I don't know where the love's not coming from for this Oregon team, because that should be all anybody's talking about is, can they go undefeated and run the table? I mean, I like Penn State plus 3.5.
It's nothing new. Oregon's never been in a Big Ten championship game, Jay.
Never have they ever been in a Big Ten championship game. Yeah, so if there could be a possibility for the 4 major conferences, Big Ten, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and SEC, all to have a team win the conference that it's their first year in the conference. If we have Texas in the SEC, if we have SMU in the ACC, if we have Oregon in the Big 10, and then we have Arizona State in the Big 12 all win, they'd all be first-year teams in their conference, which would be kind of a funny wrinkle.
Wow.
But yeah. So I like Penn State. I like SMU. So SMU's 2.5-point favorites at Clemson or versus Clemson. I like that. Texas 3-point favorites versus Georgia. Don't love that. I just like Texas to win that game. I probably wouldn't take a spread there. I like Arizona State versus Iowa State. Arizona State is, ever since that Texas Tech loss, they've looked very, very good down the stretch. Good young coach. I think their coach is like 28. Very young guy. Absolutely rocking and rolling there down in the desert. So Arizona State's a fun team. I want to see them in the playoffs. And then I'll take Boise State -4. I want to see Ashton Genty absolutely go off here for about 350 yards. Just cement his legacy in college football. So I want to see them. I want to see them get the win, and I want to see Boise State get in. Only loss of the season, 3-point loss at Oregon. where Genty had 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. So fun team.
I see
And
Genty
they
carry them to that natty, man.
Yeah, they can play with the big boys. I mean, if Oregon's as good as they look, then Boise State is being highly disrespected with their only loss being to Oregon. So, but
Heard it here first.
that's all I got for now. We will see y'all next week, week 15. Playoffs right around the corner. College football playoffs right around the corner. NCAA basketball's a couple of weeks away from getting into conference play. It's a fun time in sports right now.
Getting wild.
NBA is playing their mid-season championship NBA Cup. I don't know how that works.
No one knows.
I watch some Spurs from here and there, so yeah.
Don't sleep on the
That's it.
Cardinals.
Don't sleep with the Cardinals. I don't think anybody is at this point. We were too good this year.
Story of our lives.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
That's how we've won all year, team, right? Hey, you held them to 20 points, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
gave us a chance at the end. I got 3 words for you. You like that?